All right, what's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Blu-ray. And so, listen, y'all know why I'm here. Make sure y'all like, share, subscribe, all that above, all that good stuff, right? Listen, I did one video, but I want to do a live stream about this, okay? And y'all in the comments, feel free to ask me whatever y'all desire, okay? So, Errol Spence, like I said before, in my with me being around him, with me knowing him, he left because he was upset that Kenny Porter stopped the fight. Why do you think when he left, he kept talking about Kenny Porter's father? Why do you think he tweeted about Kenny Porter stopping the fight? I mean that he would not pay his dad if he was shown. Because he stopped the fight too early in his opinion. Y'all understand what I'm saying? You got to think about it. And then people talking about where Earl said he would never go to a Terrence Crawford fight. He was specifically talking about a Terrence Crawford top rank fight. Is Sean Porter not a PBC fighter? It was a PBC fight. So that's why he went to the fight. It was part top rank, part PBC. Of course he's going to support PBC. And then he had already said that Crawford was going to win. The man said Crawford was going to win the fight. So make it make sense. Okay? The man was disappointed. He's a fighter. I know what type of person he is. He likes to see fights. He loves to fight himself. And that's just the facts, y'all. All right? All right? So, I have an issue with people putting out this narrative that Errol Spence is scared because he decided to leave because he was disappointed in Kenny Porter. Period. That's all it was. It was no more than that. Okay? And then think about it. From my understanding, Bomac had already said he wasn't going to let Earl in the ring. You already know. Bob Aaron was not going to let him in the ring. So, like, y'all got to stop this. Y'all have to stop this. Please stop with these narratives. Okay? We're making up all these stories. Just know one thing. They're going to fight eventually. I believe they're going to fight. I don't know when they're going to fight, but I believe that the fight is going to be made. Right now, the fight is to the point where it's hyped up. Okay? It's hyped up enough. I believe that it will sell more now. The fight has been cooked. Now it's time, to pull the cake out the oven, right? But stop with this Errol Spencer scare narrative. That man is a fighter. I don't believe no fighter is scared to fight. It's just that in today's era, since Floyd Mayweather came on the scene, and there's big business involved, and Floyd exposed a lot of the promoters. Also, Floyd showed fighters how to set themselves up for life because they should be transparent. There are a lot of boxers that have been hit across the head, upside the head, slapped across the head, and they're broke. And they're broke today. So Floyd Mayweather actually did everyone a favor with showing people how to get real money and leave the game with real money so they can take care of their families and establish generational wealth. I support that 100%. I'm not against that under no circumstances. But in the process of doing business, I am an advocate of fighting the best. We still, outside of the business, I don't even mind y'all cooking a few fights, right? I don't even mind y'all taking a few, cherry picking, just a little bit. All right, you had 2 hard fights. All right, you want to get you one, like Canelo been doing, right? Canelo will fight somebody good, then he'll cherry pick. He'll fight somebody good, but in totality, you cannot argue his resume. You cannot put Canelo's resume against anybody in boxing, in my opinion. Pacquiao was the last individual that we could have put his resume up against. Right? Right? So what I'm saying is this. Cool. Get your money. I understand you don't need to take a hard fight every fight. But at the end of the day, make sure we get the fights that we need. Because what we don't want to happen is like Jamel Charlo and Hurd. When we had two of the best people at 154 and Hurd ended up losing because they cooked the fight too long. That's what we don't want. And if Bud would have lost that fight, it would have been the same situation with him and Errol. So, granted, Errol has had some situations that's out of his control. Life happens, right? But at the end of the day, we don't want to cook these fights to the point where we miss them. That's my only thing. Me personally, I want Errol to take the fight. I want him to demand the fight. But he's a grown man. I cannot. He's only my brother. I love him to death. Gonna always love him. But he makes his own decisions. Period. I'm only a strength and conditioning coach. I do what I'm supposed to do, and I do what I'm asked to do. And it is what it is. I don't worry about things that I cannot control. I just support them. I'm a fan of boxing, etc. Okay? But these media outlets and these fans like to put out rhetoric. So one thing I'm going to do is, in my opinion, I'm going to always speak truth. And I understand in 2021, going to 2022, and 2020, and starting years back since the internet era, people don't like truth. People don't like truth. People do not like truth. And one thing about me, I'm going to continue to speak the truth, regardless of who likes it or who doesn't. Because at the end of the day, I got my own money. Period. I'm not looking for no money from nobody. I'm not looking for no friends. None of that. Okay? I get on here, speak my truth, and I let YouTube pay me like everybody else. But at least one thing about here, you're going to get the real over here. You're not going to get none of this fake commentary and all this so biased BS that people be spitting on the internet. Not with me. And I just don't deal with boxing. I deal with life. I deal with relationships. I deal with everything that encompasses life. That's why it's called The Blu-ray Show. There's no telling what you're going to get with me. It's going to be a show, though. Okay? Because you know what I want? You know what I want? Payday. We want payday. Hold on. Somebody just asked me a question. Where did that question go? Hold on. Let me see if I can see the comments. Hold on. Let me see. Yeah, I want the live chat video. Okay. Blue, do you have any information about Spence's next fights? If you're going to train him? From my understanding, the last time we were in camp for Pacquiao, I'm going to be training him for the rest of his career. From my understanding, I don't have any information. Y'all heard the man say possibly February, March. From my understanding, that's when we're possibly going to get the fight. So that's the only thing that I can say. So that's all I know, my brother. That's all I know. But I wanted to make this video to get this understanding that Errol Spence is not scared of T-Bud and no other fighter. Y'all need to get that in y'all head. Okay? Y'all can ask some more questions. I don't mind answering questions. I don't mind answering questions. I have no issue with answering questions. Remember, one thing about me, I'm going to give y'all the real, raw, authentic truth. Okay? That's all you're going to get with me. But now that I got my point across, if y'all want to change the subject or we pivot somewhere else, I don't have an issue with that. Talk to me. Now, you're welcome, my brother. You're welcome. Spence fought everyone. He's definitely not scared, but these Bud fans are getting way too carried away right now. And that's the reason for me going live right now. That's for me to start being more active on my Instagram and YouTube because of this nonsense. I think Spence fights Ugas or Thurman next. I'm not sure. I'm not sure, but at the end of the day, I just want to see Earl fight, period. Because I believe that everyone knows that when it comes to seeing exciting fights, Earl puts on the most exciting fights. No shade to Bud, but to me, Bud has a, he's more technical when it comes to his approach to boxing. So it's not a lot of back and forth. It's more kind of one sided in the technical boxing aspect of it. It's not no sit in the paint. I'm a bang, you gonna bang. I'm a bang, you gonna bang. We don't get none of that. Do I think he exposed Bud with pressure? I don't think Porter exposed Bud with pressure. I don't think he exposed him because I think Bud handled himself very well. He was patient. He stayed on the outside. Then he started pressing Porter. I think Bud did good. I would say I have nothing negative to say about Bud's performance. At the end of the day, I just don't believe that he beat Porter to the point where his dad should have threw the towel in or should have stopped the fight. That's my only issue with the entire fight is that Kenny Porter felt like his son was getting beat so bad that he stopped the fight. I didn't see that. And if you look at those last punches, only one punch connected. The rest of the punches missed. Do you think Bud pound for pound or ESPN? I don't think Bud is not number one. In my opinion, I have Bud number, in my opinion, number 3. I got Bud number 3. I got Canelo number 1. I got Earl number 2. I have uh Bud number 3, and I don't know who else I got right now. I have to think about it. Because you got to put Charlo up there, and you got to put Josh Taylor and Teofimo, but I don't know what order I had them got. I don't know what order I'm going to put them in. So that's how I feel. Now, let me explain myself. Now, like I said, Canelo has won a belt in different weight classes, right? And regardless if Canelo has cherry picked a few fights, okay, let's say that. Let's say Canelo cherry picked a few fights. But at the end of the day, I want y'all to answer this question. Who has a better resume than Canelo in boxing right now? Who has a better resume than Canelo in boxing? I want to see this. Who has the better resume than Canelo right now? In my opinion, nobody. You know what? Usyk is up there too. You got a point. Usyk is up there too. Because Usyk has won. You know what? I forgot about Usyk. My apology. But Usyk will fall in that category of those last individuals that I named. Now, the reason I got Errol Spence number 2. Let me tell y'all the reason I got Errol Spence number 2. The reason I have Errol Spence number 2 is because Earl could have been undisputed a long time ago. Earl could have been undisputed a long time ago. Right? A long time ago. Remember, Keith Thurman tried to stall him out, ducked him. Danny Garcia didn't want to fight him. Porter didn't want to fight him. All these people were accusing him of being on steroids. They were making up all these excuses not to fight Earl. Not only that, Earls was getting fights and people were pulling out. It's just like Phil LaGreco was a replacement. Like, he's had replacement because people pulled out of the fight. And then nobody wanted to fight him. So he could have been undisputed at 47 a long time ago if people would have took the fight when they were accusing him of being on steroids. He could have been at 54. Those are just the facts. So the fact that he could have been at 54 a long time ago, and if you would compare his resume to Terrence Crawford, they don't match up. Earl would have had a better resume and would have done more if they would have not been stalling him out. Period. And those are the facts. And then the reason I got Crawford number 3 is because, of course, he's done his thing. But in my opinion, he hasn't fought better competition than Errol. In my opinion, just my opinion. I haven't seen anyone Crawford fought that I would be like, ooh, right? And you got to think about it. In my opinion, Crawford has only fought Errol's leftovers at 47. The people that I feel like were, because think about it. Carol Brook was number 1. Keith Thurman didn't even want to fight Carol Brook at the time. Keith Thurman didn't even want to fight Carol Brook at the time. Those are the facts. Keith Thurman did not want to fight Carol Brook. Errol went across the pond and fought him when he was at the top of his game. That counts for a lot. The way he won his belt. Terrence Crawford fought Carol Brook during COVID. And y'all knew the stipulations, you don't have a crowd. And not only that, Carol Brook didn't even have his head coach. So there was a lot of different factors that played into that. I'm just saying. Okay, you say Spence has fought Triple G leftovers. First of all, Carol Brook wasn't supposed to fight Triple G. He was supposed to fight Errol, my brother. Come on now. Triple G, Carol Brook wasn't even supposed to fight Triple G. He was supposed to fight Errol. He ducked him. Y'all don't remember that? Then he fought Triple G, then came back and fought Errol. Come on, man. Y'all got to be real. Let's talk about the facts. How he fight his leftovers. Okay, Thurman. Let's talk about Thurman. Thurman had an opportunity to fight Errol. And he did not fight him. He wouldn't have been fighting leftovers if he wouldn't have got ducked. Let's talk about the facts. Those are the facts, my brother. Let's be real. Y'all got to stop this. Those are the facts. Errol could have fought Danny Garcia before Thurman did. Those are the facts, man. No, it ain't no leftovers or leftovers, brother. No, we're not doing that. No, we're talking about the facts. You can talk about your feelings. I'm talking about the facts. I am specifically talking about the facts. They did not want to fight him. And the only reason Sean Porter even fought Errol is because he had Danny Garcia. It was Danny Garcia. No, that's what it was. He thought because Errol did not knock out Mikey like he had a chance. That's what it was. And then, a whole bunch of other stuff that out of the ring, they felt like they had an advantage. And then the only reason Danny Garcia fought him is because after that wreck, they thought they had an advantage. Go listen to Danny Garcia's father. They thought they had an advantage. But when Errol was smoking everything, nobody called his name. Let me say that one more time just in case you missed it. When Errol was smoking everything, nobody called his name. Let's talk about the facts, people. Any more questions? I got 22 people watching from what I'm seeing. Let's go. We rocking. We rocking and rolling. But I've already dealt with what I wanted to deal with. So whatever y'all want me to speak on, I'm gonna speak on it. Exactly, man. These people have to be stopped. People don't like truth. These people do not like the truth. Because y'all already know, if Errol fight Keith Thurman, man, that's going to be a man down. So when Spence looking to fight Bud, I have no idea. That's up to that man. I have no idea. From my understanding, I'm supposed to be training Earl for the rest of his career. From my understanding, that's my understanding. That's what I was told. Or any other athletes you work with? Yes, I work with other athletes. Yes, I do. My nephew is the starting point guard for TCU, Mike Miles Jr. And right now, I got a stable of young boxers that I'm training that I'm gonna bring up under me. So trust me, I'm working on the next generation as we speak. Y'all gonna see a whole bunch of fighters come up in the next 7 to 10 years, and we stomping on everything. Why they didn't have the same energy with Bud when he didn't get in the ring at Danny, man, I don't know, man. These people just be talking, man. Man, I don't know what a signal was. I just felt like the fight shouldn't have been stopped. I felt like the fight shouldn't have been stopped. Yeah, brother Ben X, that's my little brother, man. That's my little brother in real life. We friends in real life. Mm-hmm. You think EJ gonna fight Ugas next? Y'all, I don't know. I don't like. Let me tell y'all something. To be honest, me and Earl do not talk boxing at all. Me and Earl do not talk boxing. The only thing I do is train him. We hang out from here and there. I might go to his house every now and then, but we don't talk boxing like that. Excuse me. But yeah, so yeah, I got a stable of young trainers fighters I'm training right now. And they're gonna be world champions, every single one of them. And we're gonna be stomping. Do you think it's gonna be some with the stoppage from Kenny? Excuse me. Nah, it ain't gonna be the Kenny not gonna have no problem with people with the way he stopped that fight. It is what it is, man. There's no absolute truth. There's no absolute truth or evidence that he cheated or that he milked, or did what he did, but it just looked real suspicious in my opinion. That's just my personal opinion. They said the same thing about Devin Haney, right? They speculated that Devin Haney cheated Sean Porter and Kenny Porter. But I say something about it that I think that something didn't look right, and now people have an issue with me. I don't get it. Sean Porter can say something, but I can't say nothing. Make it make sense to me. And I would love to have a conversation with Sean Porter or anyone else on their platform, podcast, whatever. If it was up to me, would you do Ugas or Bud next? Me personally, I would do Ugas first, then fight Bud. Okay, go get that belt. Go get that belt. Make Crawford last the fight or be built all the way up. Earl will have 3 belts. Bud will have 1. Earl stops Ugas and makes the anticipation a little bit more because it shows you the old Errol Spence that's stopping everybody that everybody used to, and that's gonna make for a hell of a fight. Big facts. That's gonna make it real. That would the anticipation would go to another level if Earl was to fight Ugas and stop him and then go into the Crawford fight. Because remember, Ugas beat Crawford in the amateurs. Yeah. When fighters genetics slow down, it could be so many different things. It could be so many different things, like so many different things. But those are elements to a fighter's reflexes slowing down for sure. It could be age, lack of conditioning, so many different things. But when it comes to strength and conditioning, mostly the main issue when you get to the root of strength and conditioning is going to always be your conditioning at the end of the day. I don't care what you got going on with your body in terms of fitness. It's going to be lack of conditioning. Straight up. Y'all got to excuse me. So yeah, I'm gonna start doing live streams all the time, steady posting videos. Probably I might start doing it daily, Monday through Friday. Cause you know I'm an honorary member of the LDBC. Shout out to 78 Black Fight Fan, Fred, Blue Blood, all them. Do you think Fury was on the PDs against Wilder third fight? If you think, I'm gonna be honest, I stay away from those type of conversations because it's only speculation. And the one thing I don't like doing is speculating. I think that Fury did his job. I don't think Wilder made any excuses. He a man's man. He stood on that. And he went out like the true champion that he is. You know, I don't take no credit away from Wilder. He did what he was supposed to do, but I'm not sure if Fury was on PEDs, but Fury fought a good fight. So at the end of the day. See, one thing about Wilder, y'all know, like people like Wilder, people like Errol, they not gonna make no excuses. They real men, they grown men. They not gonna make no excuses. So that's one thing I respect about those brothers. They just gonna stand on their square. Yes. The last training camp when I trained him for Pacquiao, I was training his legs. I was training his entire body. So I wasn't just training his upper body. I was training his lower body too. So there was a video of us training when he was doing squats. Y'all didn't see it on my Instagram page? It was on my IG. He was doing squats. He was doing lunges. Even before we started camp. Straight up. Man, he was going dog Pac-Man. Oh, that's for sure. It would have been crazy. Yes, I watched EJ sparring session. Yes, I did when he was training for Pac. Yes, I did. All that stuff talking about he was getting beat up and all that, that's a lie. One thing about editing a clip, you can make it seem like anything. So, but I did watch him spar. And Earl was looking good like he always does. And sometimes, you know, Earl just, man, hey, Earl, it just depends on how he's feeling. You know, one day he might come in and be, you know, not as enthusiastic and go as hard, you know. It's sparring. It is sparring. Like, Dre, I'm not real big on talking about steroids because like I tell people, okay, you can take steroids, but you still got to work out. You still got to put the work in. So it's like, if I took steroids and I sat down on the couch every day and just ate, how stronger am I gonna get? What type of condition is that gonna put me in if I'm just taking steroids and just sitting on the couch? Just think about it. Do you think Porter was in a better condition when he went against Earl? I don't know. I wasn't there. His dad said he wasn't in shape. But Sean Porter said that he was. So, bro, I don't know. His dad say one thing, he say one thing. His dad say one thing, he says another. I don't know, fellas. Yeah, I don't think that Bud can take Earl's body attack. I just honestly don't think so. I don't think so. It's just my personal opinion. And you gotta think about it. Earl started going to the body and he keep hacking at that body like Canelo did, he gonna slow him down in the late rounds. Same thing Canelo did with Caleb Plant. Caleb Plant doing all that moving around. Only thing Canelo kept digging to that body. He kept digging to that body, he slowed him down. Once he slowed him down, he took him out. Yeah, that's another thing. I noticed that. I noticed that when Porter hit Crawford in the body, he didn't like it. So imagine if Porter hit you to the body, you didn't like it. Imagine the response he gonna have when Earl hit him. Man, it ain't gonna be no pretty sight. Exactly. Exactly. Bud was coming on late. Bud was, like I said, I'm not taking no credit away from Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford did great. He did what he was supposed to do. He turned it on. He started getting more aggressive in the 10th round. But that fight did not warrant to getting stopped. Period. I don't care what nobody say. That fight did not warrant being stopped. His son was not hurt that bad. If you go back and look at the footage, the man was swinging and missing. Do I think Earl is going to be stronger at 54? Of course. Of course he's going to be stronger. You don't have to drain down and lose all that weight. Losing that weight it impacts you for sure. You got word on you'll be back at camp with Earl? From my understanding, yes. From my understanding, yes. Could tell Sean wanted to sock his dad when he stopped the fight. Man, go listen. Go look at Sean. Listen, when he got knocked down the second time, matter of fact, go look at both of them. When I was on Fred show barbershop conversation last night, Fred slowed both of them down and extracted the audio to the point where you can hear it. Both times he got knocked down, he said yes. Both times. Are you okay? Yes. Then the man said when Earl hit him, the Earl punch was harder than the Crawford punch. So how was the Crawford punch harder when he said Earl was harder, but the Crawford punch stopped you to the point where your dad said, hey, I'm going to throw this towel in. But only one of those punches landed. It makes no sense. All right, one thing I'm not going to do is talk about Spence and Ennis. That's not even a conversation. That's not even fair to have. Earl done did too much in this game to be even mentioned in the same sentence with Jaron Ennis. And I'm saying that respectfully. That's no disrespect to Jaron Ennis. Jaron Ennis is going to be a world champion. He is doing this thing. He's on the right path. So at the end of the day, let that man stay in his lane. Earl going to stay in his lane. I don't like having that conversation. So that's how I feel about that. Think about this. A lot of y'all done been on jobs, right? A lot of y'all done been on jobs, and then you've been on your job 5-6 years. They bring a new person in, and then they start that person with a salary almost compared to yours. And you're like, I've been working here 5 to 6 years, and this person coming in almost making the money I'm making, you gonna feel some type of way. Or your seniority has no precedence in you being there more than them. Let's be real. You're gonna feel some type of way. Don't compare me to them. They hadn't put in enough work. And I'm saying that respectfully. What they got Ugas doing, man, I don't know. I don't deal with Ugas. From my understanding, he supposed to be being involved with some type of tournament or something. From my understanding. I don't know. But one thing I do know, I feel like Kenny Porter stopped that fight too early. That's all I know. And I know for sure that Errol Spence Jr. is not scared of no boxing. I'm not even just talking about Bud. I'm talking about no boxing. So these people want to pump out this content, pump out these narratives of clickbait. No, I'm going to give you the raw, uncut, real. Now, if you want to click on my video and support my videos, God bless you. But one thing I'm going to tell you, you're going to always get the truth and get the real. We don't do all that old gay, fugazi, lame, lying stuff over here. We're going to keep it a buck all the day. I'm not going to be biased on nobody, not even Earl. I love him to death. I'm not being biased on nobody. I tell people all the time, I'm ready for him to make the fight. But at the end of the day, I don't know what's going on behind the scenes. Me and him don't have that conversation. He is a businessman. He is a professional boxer. Right now, you have to intertwine the two and make it make sense these days. Because that's just what boxing has turned into. I have no control over that. No matter how much I feel, EJ make the fight. EJ make the fight. I have no say so. Nobody has, even his own father can't make him fight. So it's the same thing on Bud's side. You heard Bud recently screaming, this fight is past me. I don't want to fight. I tried this. But then they don't tell you how that at the end of the then he sit up right there in front of Bob Arum and let him know that he couldn't secure the fight. So how is Errol Spence scared to make the fight or fight him when Terrence Crawford promoter, who he was signed to, couldn't even make the fight? And he addressed him in public. It doesn't take a rocket science to see 2 + 2 = 2. It makes no sense. Why Earl won't fight Crawford? Crawford said that his promoter couldn't make the fight. There's your answer. What are we talking about? Make it make sense now. Me and EJ have not started working yet. Somebody asked, how's the trainer going? We have not started working yet. I'm just waiting. I'm pretty sure I'll get the phone call after the new year. I guarantee. So that's what it is, man. But yeah, I think I'm going to start live streaming every day. Just about different topics. I talk about more than boxing. I talk about life. I talk about your kids. I talk about how to deal with relationships. I deal with it all. That's why it's called The Blu-ray Show. But I know y'all support me for the boxing aspect of it. And I'm going to give y'all what y'all want. Earl looks sharp already. It won't be a fat camp. Oh, hell no. Y'all didn't see that footage that Dante Boxing Nation posted on his page of Earl hitting that body thing? I'm gonna post it on my Instagram. And I might post it on my YouTube. I probably need to reach out to Dante Boxing Nation because I know this YouTube ran a little different. When you start using people content, you can get flagged and all this extra kind of stuff. So I'll holler at him some way, somehow. But I'm pretty sure I know Dante Boxing Nation, he probably not gonna trip. Kenny bet on Crawford in the 10th. Hey. Payday. We want payday. Straight up. For real. Payday. We want payday. See, a lot of these people got to understand, see, I can get on here and I can talk my talk because I'm not controlled by nobody. I'm not controlled by a soul on the earth. I can say what I want to, when I want to, how I want to. And I'm not controlled. Y'all don't even see me at the fights. I don't even be in all of that, man. I be chilling. Now, when they here in Dallas, I got to go. Oh, excuse me. But when they out of town, you don't see me out of town going no fights. I ain't got time to be hanging around with all the fake bloggers. Everybody, And let me tell y'all something. EJ IQ is underrated. That's what I see. EJ's IQ, because I've seen him in person for years, so I sit back and I watch him. Errol Spence IQ is underrated. Big facts. Underrated. So that's how I feel, man. But listen, if y'all don't have any more questions, hey, I've been on here for 40 minutes. I appreciate y'all. I'll probably be back tomorrow. I'm gonna see what the world want me to talk about. Hit me on Instagram. If y'all got a specific subject y'all want me to talk about. It's your boy Blu-ray, the Blu-ray Show. Like, share, subscribe, hit that bell, and I'm out.